Well, Netflix executives were in New York today to hand out a $1 million prize. They gave the prize to 7 researchers, scientists, and engineers from around the world. The group won the Netflix contest to improve its movie recommendation system by at least 10%. Well, Netflix co-founder and CEO Reed Hastings said the prize is aimed ultimately at helping its subscribers.
Well, we want to help viewers choose. When most people watch movies, 1 out of 3 of the movies they really just love. And we want to change it so it's 2 out of 3 that they love. And if we do, then they'll watch a lot more movies. They'll be really happy with Netflix. So that's what the movie recommendations are about, and the Netflix prize is about.
Bottom line, it's all about really getting people to rent more movies, I'm assuming, driving earnings and so on and so forth. Your CFO recently raised the forecast for 2010, the growth forecast. Is that for earnings per share, for subscriber growth, for everything across the board?
We're just continue to be so blessed. I mean, internet video is growing, streaming, DVD is continuing to grow for us. We're really just able to fire on all cylinders. But there's a lot of competition coming. I mean, there's Apple and Amazon and Hulu and YouTube and all kinds of companies. So this internet video thing is going to be a big market with a lot of competitors.
And that's the business of the future, correct?
That is the business we're doing today. In fact, we're streaming movies now to thousands of devices, to millions of subscribers. It's just really coming together.
What happens to the DVD rental market? I know you've talked in the past, I've read some stories about in 4 or 5 years, maybe that starts to go away, or what?
We think it's going to continue. It's growing for us today. It's continuing to grow. We think it's going to keep on growing for us for several years, and then it will peak and it will start to tail down eventually. But at least for the next couple years, it's going to continue to grow.
You talk about the online video market. I mean, that is certainly the market everybody's on. You mentioned all the competition. I'm curious, who do you see as your main competitor? Is it Google and YouTube? Is it Amazon? Is it Hulu? Who is it?
It's really the combination of all of those. So we don't yet know, and everybody's innovating a lot, doing amazing stuff. I mean, with the new YouTube and high quality, with Apple and Amazon doing great stuff. Hulu is just stunning. I mean, it's really all coming together. And all of the internet, it's about creating more choice for consumers.
Right, so certainly the consumer benefits. But I'm just curious, like, when you go to bed at night or when you wake up in the morning, who is it that you think about, that you want to know among that group what they're doing?
You know, usually when you anticipate your competitors, you're wrong. And so I try not to think too much about one because, you know, it's all of them that will be eventual competitors. And that's okay. You know, that's what makes the market strong.
Right. You can't discount any of them.
That's correct. No discounting.
Now, in terms of the future, it's often about getting so much content. I know you've talked about getting access to more content going forward, whether it's HBO or so on and so forth. Are you anticipating spending a lot more on licensing going forward in order to access that content, since that's what it's all about?
Absolutely. I mean, our goal is to generate a lot of subscribers and then to be able to pay the studios and the networks a lot of money for the content.
So you do anticipate that there's going to be a lot more expenditure on that?
Absolutely. As we grow, we want to be able to generate a lot of revenue from the content and then pay the content owners well. That's how we really get to license more and more content, is by paying them a lot of money.
Does the idea of kiosks play into your equation at all? I mean, NPD Group put out some numbers about kiosk growth, saying like 30% by the end of this year. It's up from like 19% a year ago. That's tremendous growth. How do you combat that? Do you join the party?
You know, kiosks have been growing well the last couple of years, and so has Netflix. 2 years ago, we were growing at 25% year over year. A year ago, we were growing at 25%, and this year we're growing at 25% in the middle of a recession. So we're really happy with what's going on with Netflix.
And you think you can maintain that 25% growth rate for the next 2-3 years?
You know, you can never tell what happens in the future. So right now, we're continuing to just try to improve our service, make it better and better, like the Netflix prize with the movie recommendations, or more content for streaming, and we'll do the best we can.
Let me ask you, what is the future for Netflix? Where do you see it in 5 years?
In 5 years, we'll be shipping an enormous number of DVDs, you know, a lot more than today, and we'll be doing a lot of movie streaming to all kinds of devices.
Going to keep it in the U.S. market, or is there any plans to go overseas?
For now, we're all in the U.S. market.
Any plans to sell the company at any point? There's been some speculation out there. I'm just curious if that's part of the end game at all.
You know, being a public company, there's always speculation, but we don't comment on any of it.
Well, checking in on shares of Netflix, they have outperformed the NASDAQ, rising nearly 60% so far this year.